What if the strongest woman you know once stayed with the wrong man for too long? What if the grandma who raised you had a story she never dared to tell? And what if, just once, she decided it was time to tell the truth? This story begins in 1962, with a woman who loved too deeply, forgave too easily, and paid a quiet price for the rest of her life. Sit down, turn up the volume, because what she's about to say might save your heart too. "Sit down, sweetheart," Grandma Eleanor said gently, motioning toward the kitchen table. "There's something I've never told anyone. Not your mother, not your grandfather, not even my sister. But today, I think you need to hear it." Emily sat, wiping the tears from her cheeks. Her eyes were red, swollen from hours of crying. She had just discovered that Jake, her boyfriend of 3 years, had cheated on her. With someone she knew, someone close. She had come to her grandmother's house because, well, when the world crashes down, you go to the person who always knows what to do. Except this time, Eleanor didn't offer tissues or soft reassurances. She offered truth, and a secret she had buried for over 50 years. "You know, I met your grandfather when I was 19, she began, "but what you don't know is that before him there was someone else." Emily looked up, surprised. "His name was Daniel," Eleanor said, her fingers tracing the rim of her teacup. "He was charming, tall, handsome in that confident way that makes you ignore every red flag. He made me laugh, made me feel seen, and I fell. Hard, head first." She smiled, but it was the kind of smile that hides pain beneath. "Everyone warned me. My father hated him. My best friend said he had that look, the one that never settles. But I didn't listen. I thought love meant loyalty. I thought if I stayed, if I proved I was worth it, he'd stop looking elsewhere." "But he never did," Emily leaned in. "6 months into our engagement, I found out he was sleeping with someone else, then another, then another. Each time he'd apologize, cry, swear it was a mistake. And I forgave him. Again and again. Do you know what I told myself, Emmy?" Emily shook her head. "That it was my fault. That maybe if I were prettier, more fun, less emotional, he wouldn't need to look elsewhere. That I was too sensitive. That I needed to grow up. I let him cheat, and I stayed." Her voice cracked just slightly. "Because I thought leaving meant failure. I thought it meant I wasn't enough. But sweetheart," she paused, her voice now steady, "it wasn't me who wasn't enough. It was him who was never ready for what I was giving." Emily felt a chill. Her own thoughts, the same doubts, had echoed those words just hours ago. "The last time I caught him," Eleanor continued, "was 3 days before our wedding. He had just come back from his so-called bachelor weekend." She went silent. "That night I wrote him a letter. I told him I knew, that I forgave him, that I still loved him, and I placed it in his jacket pocket, thinking it would make him stay. But then something happened," Eleanor said. "I woke up the next morning, and I felt empty, cold, like I had disappeared inside myself. I looked in the mirror and saw a woman who had become a stranger, a woman who was shrinking to fit a man who couldn't hold her. So I took the letter back." Emily's eyes widened. "I didn't marry him," Eleanor whispered. "I packed my bags and walked out. Left the dress, the venue, the invitations, everything." Emily sat, stunned. "People called me dramatic, foolish, a runaway bride. But you know what, Emmy? That decision saved my life. 3 years later, I met your grandfather, the kindest man I ever knew, and I thanked God every day that I didn't let my fear of being alone keep me from real love." She reached across the table and held Emily's trembling hand. "You are not broken because someone couldn't stay loyal to you. You are not unlovable. You are not too much. You are exactly enough, and someday, you'll meet someone who looks at you and says, 'Finally, there you are.' But that someone isn't Jake, and deep down you already know that." Emily's tears fell again, but this time they carried release, not confusion. "I didn't tell you this to hurt you," Eleanor added. I told you this because I never want you to spend 50 years hiding a letter you wish you'd never written." Emily didn't sleep that night. Eleanor had gone to bed, but her words echoed through every corner of Emily's mind. "I never want you to spend 50 years hiding a letter you wish you'd never written." Emily stared at the ceiling. Her phone lit up beside her. A new message from Jake. "Can we talk? I miss you." She didn't answer. Instead, she opened her notes app and started typing. Not to Jake. Not to anyone, really. Just a letter. For herself. VoiceOver reads aloud as Emily types. "To the girl who thinks she's to blame. It's not your fault. It's never been your fault. You gave love and someone didn't know how to hold it. That doesn't make your love wrong. It makes them unready. Stop shrinking, stop apologizing, stop editing yourself so someone else will find you easier love. Real love never requires you to be less." The next morning, Emily showed Eleanor the letter. Her grandmother smiled through proud tears. "That's the letter you send to the world," she whispered. Emily posted it to her social media anonymously. By noon, it had 300 shares. By midnight, over 1 million. Women from every walk of life were sharing their own stories. Men, too. Messages poured in. "This saved me. I felt seen for the first time. Thank you for saying what I never could." Days later, a major blog reached out asking to publish it. Then a podcast. Then a morning show. But Emily wasn't chasing attention. She had something better. Clarity. She finally blocked Jake. She applied for that art residency she had been too afraid to pursue. She started a community page, sharing anonymous letters of heartbreak and healing. She called it "The Letter I Took Back." And through it all, Eleanor was there. Her biggest fan, her anchor, her proof that healing wasn't just possible, it was powerful. Sometimes the most powerful things we ever do aren't loud. They're quiet. They're a letter taken back, a truth spoken aloud, a choice to walk away when it would be easier to stay. And sometimes, healing begins with the courage to tell the truth, even if it's 50 years later. 3 months had passed since Emily posted the letter. 3 months of transformation. She had moved into a small apartment closer to the art district. Her community page had grown to over 300,000 followers, and every day people sent her stories of heartbreak and healing. She didn't feel entirely healed, not yet, but she was getting closer. Then came the email. Subject line, "Hi, from someone who read your letter." It was from a man named Michael, a photographer. He had read her letter while sitting in a cafe in Prague. He told her it made him call his sister, to apologize for not being there when her marriage fell apart. He didn't flirt, didn't ask for anything, just said, "Thank you. You reminded me that words matter." Emily smiled. They exchanged a few emails, then a few more, then a video call, then another. Michael wasn't like Jake. He didn't try to fix her sadness. He just sat in it with her, asked questions, listened. Weeks turned into months, and one day she told Eleanor about him. "I think I like him, Grandma, but I'm scared. What if I trust again and it breaks me?" Eleanor smiled. "Then you'll heal again, but this time a little faster, because you've already done it once." A year later, Emily was in Prague. She was there for a photography and storytelling exhibit, a collaboration with Michael. They had created a space where people could leave anonymous letters, just like she had. Eleanor's health had started to decline, but she had made Emily promise something before she left. If this turns into love, don't run. Don't let fear steal what might be good. At the exhibit, a woman approached Emily. "I read your letter 6 months ago. It gave me the courage to leave a man who had been cheating for years. I just wanted to say, thank you." Emily hugged her. Michael came over, camera in hand. He kissed Emily's cheek. "This is the love you don't see coming," he whispered. Back home, Eleanor passed away peacefully in her sleep 2 months later. She left Emily a final letter. "Dearest Emmy, I always knew you'd turn your pain into something beautiful. You were never broken, just becoming. I'm proud of you. Love always." Sometimes, the greatest healing comes not from forgetting the pain, but from choosing what to do with it. Eleanor's truth saved Emily. Emily's truth saved thousands. And maybe, just maybe, yours will too. Was this story meaningful to you? Share your thoughts below. Your story might help someone else feel less alone.